I have found an exceptionally, incredibly strong pattern that Bitcoin has revealed through the findings of fiddling on the charts and drawing some lines. That's what trading is all about, is being able to take a moment to take a step out and to see what the macro of the charts look like. And then you can start to break down into those charts, looking at the micro details behind what it is that we could potentially be seeing in the short term. But truly, my friends, if you're here for the long term, you need to make sure that you stay right to the very end of this video, and you need to absolutely obliterate this like button, and let's get cracking on with this video. Truly, I appreciate every single one of my beautiful subscribers to the channel. I did do a video last night for you about, is it altcoin season? It really is very much coming up to altcoin season. I have more evidence over and above the content in that video that altcoin season is about to hit us very, very hard in the next couple months. Stick with me for the next 10 to 15 minutes, and we're going to delve right into exactly what you need to know on how to position yourself and what to do over the next few months, because we're about to see the most historical life-changing wealth flood into our lives. And if you appreciate that, then you know what to do. Gold is currently at a new all-time high. Silver is at a new all-time high. S&P is knocking on the door. Dow Jones is knocking on the door. And NASDAQ is knocking on the door. Yet Bitcoin is down 28% from its peak, having the worst Q4 in the last 7 years without any negative news, FUD, or scandal. There is absolutely no explanation for this except pure market manipulation. We do understand that, well, while everything is happening, Trump's voting time is coming up, re-election time is coming up, we're starting to see trickles of potential cracks where we need to ensure that we get this market structure bill passed. Because right now, they've postponed it until January. I do believe it will come about. When that does happen, we're going to see all of these go mega bullish, mega green, and even gold and silver, who's already been having runs, because gold is definitely breaking through way new all-time highs and insanely volatile. And here is why. But before I show you why, you need to understand that the US GDP numbers that came out earlier today, just destroyed expectations, surging 4.3% in Q3. That is an incredibly nice jump, and this would be the strongest going back to Q3 of 23. This is mega strong, super bullish, and the experts lost. Trump and Scott Bessent were right. I'm not even going to play the video for you, because that brings us to this post, that even though we might have very strong GDP, that actually something big is going to happen this week. Number one, we have Christmas Eve tomorrow night. We have Boxing Day, Christmas Day on the 25th, and we have Boxing Day on the 26th. And Boxing Day just happens to be another public holiday, which happens to be on a Friday, and pretty much in the last week of the year. So, my friends, there is definitely going to be some wild action in this market. Huge volatility. Buckle up, put your safety belts on, have your dry powder ready, because what I'm about to show you is going to give you an incredible opportunity. Stick with me. This Friday on 26th of December, over $23.6 billion worth of Bitcoin options expire. That's the largest options expiry Bitcoin has ever seen. If you have any money in crypto, you should not ignore this. And here is why this matters. First, you need to understand exactly what an expiry is. So options are leveraged bets on price. Calls bet the BTC price will go higher, and puts bet BTC will go lower. When they expire, one of two things happen. They expire worthless, or they force hedging, buying or selling in the spot market. And with $23.6 billion rolling off at once, a huge amount of risk comes off dealer books in a single day, which happens to be a public holiday, okay, and before the weekend, and in the last week of the year. My friends, we are going to see volatility here, okay? Expect massive volatility. And like I've been saying, potentially the black swan event. I don't know. I don't think so, but something says that we cannot rule that out. Because when we look at how big this is in context, because that is truly where the volatility comes from. In 21, the year-end expiry was $6 billion. In 22, it was $2.4 billion. In 23, and bearing in mind that was in a bull market, and 22 is in a bear market. In 23, it was $11 billion, which was double the bull market. 24 was $19.8 billion, and 25 is expected to be $23.6 billion, which is massive. Okay, this market is no longer driven by retail. This is institutional size risk being repriced in real time. I do agree with that. I have said to you that this cycle is certainly different. Yes, it is certainly being manipulated by JP Morgan and the likes of others, whomever else. Let's not get into other names, okay? But why Friday matters specifically. Dealers are heavily hedged around key strikes. Once expiry hits, those hedges come off. That can cause sharp moves in either direction, especially in low liquidity conditions. And right now, liquidity is almost non-existent. It's a holiday week. There's less volume, so more impact per order. And that's how you get violent moves without news. A lot of this open interest is clustered near major psychological levels, and after expiry, it completely disappears. That's why you often see chop into expiry, then a clean move shortly after. Volatility is literally the setup this week. You just need to watch price after expiry, not just going into it. By the way, this dude, we'll go back to his name now, has been studying the macro for the last 22 years and been in Bitcoin since 2013. He called the last two major tops and bottoms. I don't know who can do that, but when the next bottom is in, I start buying BTC again, and I'll say it here publicly so you can act on it. If you still haven't followed me, you'll regret it. So I like it. I do dig the post. I think it's really amazing, and this is no limits, no limit gains. But the truth be told is there is no guru out there can tell you when the bottom is in and the top is in. You just have to watch your charts. So here's an interesting fact just for us to follow right now. Here are the number of people who own Bitcoin. India is 93 million. United States is 46 million. I would never have guessed Indian at 93 million. Don't hold me to this data. I'm just sharing something with you from a reputable fellow ex-member. China's got 41 million. Nigeria's 18 million. Vietnam 17. Indonesia 14. Turkey 12. Philippines 10. Brazil 9. Pakistan 7. Mexico 7. Argentina 7. South Africa 6. I'm one of those 6 million people. Thailand 5. Russia 5. Egypt 4.5. South Korea 4.5. Ukraine 4. Colombia 4, Spain 3.5, United Kingdom 3.5, Iran 3.5, France 3, Japan 3, and Germany 2.8. Now, my friends, there's 21 million Bitcoin, right? But yet, India in itself has 93 million people who own Bitcoin, which means that they own stacks of Satoshis, right? That the majority of the Bitcoin being held is very likely between United States, China. I'm very surprised Iran is not on here, because Iran and Pakistan I know own quite a shed load of Bitcoin. Oh, there's Iran. Okay, Iran own more Bitcoin than the United States. I don't know if you remember that fact from one of the videos I did on the channel. I cannot remember which one it is, but I think, yeah, it could have been one of these ones somewhere in this zone. All you need to know right now is that, honestly, that is amazing. this is probably about 500 million people here put together, okay? 500 million people own Bitcoin, which means that we have surpassed the 3 to 4% of people that own Bitcoin in this world. And we are very much looking a lot more like 10 to 15% right now, which is amazing because 6 years ago, we were at about 4 million people that own Bitcoin. 4% of the world's population that own Bitcoin, excuse me. Now, Bitcoin has just flashed another golden cross. We've seen 4 of these since 23. Every single one triggered an explosive upside. And now we're coiling while bears call for 60K. I have called for 60K myself, so I'm one of those. They don't believe it, but history does. Breakout odds just hit weekly highs. And I'll show you my chart in a short moment because that is the point of the whole video. But before I do, make sure you have hit your Bybit link, my Bybit link down in the description of the video below. You can see my trade is still down here. We're hovering around here. Ethereum obviously follows Bitcoin, so my trade is still down. I still have my buy entry down here at 2,600. I would not be surprised if we went down to 2,600. But before I do that, make sure that you have that Bybit link down below signed up so you can get your bonus. Come and trade with me. We're about to have the craziest fun. If you want me to do videos of what I'm about to consider getting into, okay, on the next drop down, I personally think it's still going to drop, then make sure you leave a comment down below for me and we'll see which coin we would like to tackle. Let me know what coins you want to talk about and we'll have a look at those charts. But for now,
with that, we got the guys and gals that are into the golden crosses. Bitcoin just flashed another golden cross. And what we can say about this, we had 4 signals with this and we had 4 explosive pumps before. Now we're in the 5th. No one believes it. The bears are still around. This thing's dropping to 60,000. It's going down to 20. It's worth 0. Okay. The crowd is quiet. The signal is loud. The breakout odds, well, they've been the highest they've been in weeks as we consider, as we constantly keep crunching in this area. With that, we got the guys.
I too would consider where we're at right now. In a moment, I'm going to show you my chart. I'm going to show you 2 lines that I just drew on that chart. And I'm going to ask you to let me know what you believe we could be seeing very, very soon here, my friends. Now, without wasting another single moment, let us have a look at, of course, the video I shared with you yesterday. Is it altcoin season? Mr. Rover, Crypto Rover, who I follow and I do appreciate it. I do appreciate his channel. Shout out to you, Crypto Rover. Altcoins are almost oversold as they were during COVID. Yes, they are. And we'll have a look at that shortly. So if you have a look here, this was COVID. Look at that stochastic and look what happened after. Currently, we are extremely oversold. I think we're on the bottom. In fact, we can't even go any lower on this guy. And I mean, we even being pushed down. So right now we're at 0.006. That is exceptionally oversold, my friends. And the MACD is telling us that we are doing the same thing. So I would expect us to see a massive, massive move coming in to the upside. And I would presume that we probably kind of had this move or this move here. All right, one of the two. And we can expect the next move up is going to be violent. It's going to be one way and it's going to go exceptionally strong. Here is more evidence for you. So I drew these lines for us a short moment ago. Now, bearing in mind that this chart here actually signals to us that Bitcoin has had a high touch this line pretty much from all the way 2017. However, in this chart, I'm looking at something different here. Okay, right now, I want to find out from the chart where it is that this current support level is. And so I drew this line across here because we did tap, we did tap, we did tap, we did tap, we tapped, we failed, we failed, we failed. We kept trying to tap. We built this trigger of this down sloping trend. Let's get a little marker here for us. We drew this down sloping trend line, okay, and then we broke out, okay, and then we retested the support zone. We attempted and made a new all-time high. We got heavily rejected off of that all-time high, pulled straight back down, which ironically is a very, very deep down-sloping wedge, okay? And currently, we seem to be finding this strong area of support pretty much from the bear market, previous cycle's bear market bottom support zone, because that same support zone was in this area. This was the bottom right here, that candle. We broke up, we pulled back, support. We broke out, pull back and support, and then we had the major rally. Isn't it so ironic that we've broken out, we pulled back support, we've tried and attempted a new high here, pulled back very hard to that same zone, support zone, which might I add probably is somewhere in that zone right there, and then broke through to the new all-time to experience a massive, massive move to the upside. Now, my friends, if we are to experience anything like that, I don't want to give you false hope or any expectation, but that first move was a 200% move to the upside. If we are to do a 200% move from the upside, currently from where we are, that would approximately take Bitcoin up to, and quite violently quickly, right up to $245,000 to $250,000. Okay, that is something that you cannot rule out here. Why am I saying you cannot rule it out? Because history doesn't lie. Look at how we've gathered the momentum off of this upward sloping support zone. And I'd love Gareth Soloway to comment on this chart that I have drawn out for us here, because what I'm seeing is, yes, there's a much stronger case for there to be a support zone right here in the horizontal zone, somewhere down here at 58,000, which is why you saw the post saying 60,000. But honestly, I don't see us coming that low. If we were to hit a low, we could probably hit that area there, which is more likely to be 70,000. But in all fairness, my beautiful community, my Crypto Bliss community, the honest truth is, here right now, we are seeing a massive upward trending support zone, a horizontal support zone, and a massive long-term upward support zone right here. And at the very, very most, I would expect us to come down to maybe 77,000 to break this low here, give us a bit of a scare. Okay, one last scare and huge manipulation. But the real truth is the following. The real truth is the following. As you can see here, in this zone, there was about 6 or 7, 8 candles here that were heavy wicking capitulation candles testing that support zone. We haven't broken the support zone. So until we break this support zone, the bear market is actually invalid. And this truly is a remarkable, very deep pullback in a longer cycle. Okay. Now, truth be told, it's very scary to have a 35% pullback. Okay. But it is what it is. It happened in the other times. Look at this pullback here. This pullback, right, was 55%. And then we still rallied and broke new all-time highs. So don't chicken out here, okay? Just be patient. If we get a wicking scenario, that's what it is. But honestly, if you're buying any Bitcoin in this current region, let me give you a more accurate region. If you're buying Bitcoin on spot within this region right here, my friends, between 89,000 and 77,000, you're buying Bitcoin at a major, major discount. And if you appreciate that and you want to know more, then you best be subscribing to the Crypto Bliss community. Thank you for being here with me once again. And make sure, if you want to know what altcoins I would possibly be looking at entering some trades in, buying some more in spot on, my friends, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one.